Hello Daily Drafters and welcome back to the channel. For today's daily draft, we have the last draft of 2022 today with another Brothers War best of one. We've got tons of drafts here on the channel. If you're new, welcome. If you are not new, welcome back. We're still doing some nice Brothers War here. And believe it or not, Phyrexia All Is One, I believe is the name of the next set, releases in less than a month. Which means set review content begins in like 2 or 3 weeks. So here we are. We're just going to have fun with Brothers War while we still have it now. With Autonomous Assembler, I think this card is pretty good. I think if you were trying to spike your win rate here, something like Ashnod's Harvester might be the pick because of how aggressive the format is and all that kind of stuff, and the fact that this is a really good aggressive card. But I'm not trying to spike my win rate, I'm trying to have fun with rares and things, and Autonomous Assembler is a great one. 2-mana 2/2 that can just constantly put a counter on itself. I mean, it's a great start, and it's a colorless card too, so it doesn't even have to be white. Alright, pick number 2. Power Plant Worker is an assembly worker with Autonomous Assembler. Combo? I think not. What else do we have? There's Deathbloom Ritualist, whatever. There's Battlefield Butcher, which is good. There's Pendragon Strongbull, which is good. Mishra is like whatever. So I think the best cards here are Butcher and Strongbull. We're not married to this necessarily, but it's nice to be able to be white, to have access to the prototype version of that. I think I'm going to take Butcher. Yeah, why not? Let's take Butcher here. I've liked those decks a little bit better. Now there's Disfigure, which is great. Defense Grid, yeah, no. Yeah, everything here sucks except for Disfigure. So we're going to take the Disfigure. That makes that pick pretty easy. And another Battlefield Butcher. Okay. Battlefield Butcher number 2 means we can really go into the creatures. Maybe we wheel one of these Gigamoles or two. Looking for some self-mill here. This is going to be great. Ooh, okay. Interesting. Autonomous Assembler is an assembly worker. Self-assembler can find autonomous worker as well. Which could be pretty good. What are we passing up on here? Blast Runner and Evolving Wilds? And a Scrapsmith to help mill us? I'm going to try this. Maybe this is the Tron deck. Maybe this is the day where we go Tron. Having access to a self-assembler can get any one of the Tron pieces as well. Look, Tron's not great. I know it's not the way to maximize your win percentage in this format, but we're past that point in the format, at least for me. And I want to check off Tron on my bingo card because, you know what? Maybe we should make a bingo card. And actually, I've talked about your hypothetical bingo card for this format for a while. Maybe we should make one for Phyrexia. Be like, all right, if you could do all of these things, then you win. Melding would be on this bingo card as well. But maybe we can go for Tron today. Who knows? But I highly incentivized to be black something self-mill so far. Problem is you can draw these out of order. If you draw the assembler, then the assembler, that's worded strangely. Blanchwood Prowler is perfect with our Battlefield Butchers. It's exactly what we're looking for. And I think it's an easy pick here. Having access to the prototype on this is good, but a 5-mana 4/5 Vigilance that can constantly grow itself, or this, or something else, is still very good. Guy's Courser is very good with black-green self-mill. And I think that's where I'm going to land. We're going to have to make sure our curve stays low enough. I would like more Blanchwood Prowlers, more Ravenous Gigamoles, more Overwhelming Remorses, and just a bunch of creatures. That's what I'm looking for. Guy's Courser is a card that, like, when my opponent plays it, I'm kind of like, that's a problem, but never really a card I prioritize or put in my deck too often. So let's put it in this deck, see how it goes. Hoarding Recluse is a decent one. It trades with basically anything. Velagi Archaeologist is good with a self-mill, but I don't think we want to dip into blue. I'm leaning on the sides of self-mill creatures, good removal, and then just a bunch of creatures to go with these double butchers. So here we have Stalwart, Gift, and Refractor. This is not going to be a Refractor deck. Could be a Gaia's Gift deck. So let's take the Gaia's Gift here. We'll have enough creatures where we'll probably have something to use this on. Razor Maw is great, so is Power Plant Worker like I mentioned, but this is just a little bit expensive. If there were no Razor Maw here, honestly I'd probably take the Power Plant Worker, but this is exactly what we're looking for in this deck, is a Burrowing Razor Maw. So I will take Overwhelming Remorse over most cards, and I will take Ravenous Gigamole pretty highly. I'll take Blanchwood Prowlers very highly. And a couple other assembly workers might be pretty good. Alright, Tomokul Honor Guard. It's a 2-drop. It's a creature. It's fine. I don't think we're playing any of these here. Same here. This is self-mill, but I don't think we're going to run it. Alright, what can we find here? A Simian Simulacrum is what we get. Oh, there's also an Overwhelming Remorse. It's got to be Remorse, right? We don't have any removal except his figure right now. I always regret, like, for those of you that watched Wednesday's video and saw that as soon as my opponent dropped their Urza Prince of Krug and then an Ichor Wellspring, I just lost the game because every turn they made an Ichor Wellspring that was a 3/3 and I had no removal for the Urza. And picking up removal is very important. As much as I would very much like a Simian Simulacrum, this is a great card. You need removal. And I'm going to take this one here. Alright, now there's an Emergency Weld, which is good with the amount of self-mill we're hopefully going to end up with. And then there's a whole bunch of nothing for us. So I'll probably just take the Emergency Weld. We have to be careful. I'm not going to play too many non-creatures. I think Opportunist is still great here. There's a Rager. I don't think this is a Mishra's Bauble deck. I think the Opportunist is good. It lets us ramp to Assembler and Self-Assembler. It's also a creature. Rager would be great on the wheel. I doubt it wheels, though. But let's take the Argothian Opportunist. Burrowing Razor Maw number 2. This is not a Refractor deck, like I mentioned, as much as I love the card. And I think this is a pretty easy Razor Maw. Don't really have much there. Disciples of Gix. What's that good with? Nothing. So I guess another 2-drop here. Repair and Recharge. That's like a combo card with... I had someone cast a Repair and Recharge, a turn 5 Portal to Phyrexia on me already once. So if you're looking for that kind of content from our opponents, you're in the right spot. But let's take the 2-drop here. Now we have Fracture and Steel Seeker. This is not a great Steel Seeker deck, but it could get better. I don't think it's a great... Well, it's not a great Fracture deck either, so... We'll take the Steel Seeker as another 2-drop, and we're just looking for just a bunch of creatures, a bunch of removal. And yeah, that's pretty much it. With these double butchers, this is pretty much our win con right now. We only have one Blanchwood Prowler, and I guess 2 Razor Maws as self-mill. So we need a couple of Gigamoles, and I'd like at least 1 more Prowler. Ideally 2 more. 2 more Prowlers would be great. Having the Emergency Weld is pretty good as well. Yeah, I think this deck is looking pretty good so far. I mean, it's looking very consistent. I would love... If I could just build out the rest of this deck as I want it, I would build out Boulder Branch Golem, really good. I would take 2 more Prowlers. I would take 2 more Overwhelming Remorses. I'd take a Ravenous Gigamole and another Disfigure. That's pretty much all you need. Oh, and a Titania's Command. Because why not? We had one last draft. Let's see if we can get one this draft. We opened it in pack 3 as well, so this could be Titania's Command time. Ooh, baby. We did it. Got one more. Here we go. Maybe we'll mill ourselves one of these games too. If you're doing the thing and your deck is doing exactly what it wants to do and you end up dying because you milled yourself, so be it. That means you had some fun. That means I had some fun at least. And again, here at Daily Draft, I'm not a pro player by any means. I consider myself pretty good. I'm okay. But I'm not like some pro player who just goes on here and gets to top 5 Mythic. If that's what you're looking for, go find LSV or something. But here we look to have a little fun and, you know, just draft a ton. All the other content creators that I know, not all of them, some of them do draft as much as I do, but I like to put out a ton of content for you all, which is among the most important things for me. So that's what I'm here to do. We'll take Guy's Gift number 2. Don't know if I want to run it. Wasteful Harvest could be a card we could run. It's good with milling ourselves, but it's just doesn't affect the board, which I do not like. This is an interesting one here. Platinum Angel with double Guy's Gift. Blanchwood Prowler number 3. I did say that if I could build out the rest of my deck... You heard nothing. If I could build out the rest of my deck, I would take Blanchwood Prowler. I would take 3 of these, and this would be the 3rd one. However, this one might wheel. I might take the Opportunist here. There's an Epic Confrontation as well, which would be pretty good. I think this one might wheel. The last one we got pick 8, which tells me I'm just going to take the Opportunist. And now we have the exact same pick. Along with the Disfigure. Again, this one might wheel. Gosh, what does Opportunist do for us? It ramps us towards Boulder Branch Golem, Assembler, and Assembler. It's good, but like not outstanding. I would like more removal, like I mentioned, and we're still lacking a little bit of that. I'm going to take this Disfigure and hope that one of those Blanchwood Prowlers wheel. Overwhelming Remorse. Man, I told you what I wanted in the rest of this deck, and I'm kind of getting it. I mean... Well, there's a Bushwhack, too. What is this? No. Evolving Wilds, we don't really need that. There's another Disfigure or a Bushwhack. Could run 16 lands and a Bushwhack. I just love Disfigure though, but I think Bushwhack to deal with a little bit bigger thing could be good. I don't think this is a Rust Goliath deck, unfortunately. Nor is any deck in the format. This card just kind of sucks. Soul Guide Lantern, a second Emergency Weld, Clay Revenant. What are we doing with Clay Revenant? Not a lot. Or a Mine Worker. I don't think I really want to play any of these cards here. Maybe a second Emergency Weld, but I doubt it. Ooh, Argothian Opportunity. Ooh, Boulder Branch Golem and Disfigure. Boulder Branch Golem? If this one's pick 6, maybe one of those 2 in pick 9 or 10 will wheel. Boulder Branch Golem is so good. What's our curve looking like? Our curve is looking fine. That's a tough pick right there. I don't know what to pick there. Do we need... What does this one do? No. Do we need this one? Or do we want something like a Goring Warplow or a Hoarding Recluse? Definitely another creature. I don't think we need another Gaia's Gift. So potentially a Warplow or maybe a Recluse here. This protects us against flyers, but this is a nice curve filler. Epic Confrontation. And then we see if Scrap Prowler did wheel. Awesome. It's exactly what we want. So did this one. Let's go, baby. And we're not playing any of this. All right, we're going to have to make some cuts here. It's going to be interesting. This will be interesting for sure. We have a lot of self-mill. 4 Prowlers and 2 Razor Maws. And then just a bunch of creatures and removal. And that's exactly what you want. I don't know what to cut. Maybe the Gaia's Gifts? They don't really work super well with what we have. Maybe the Epic Confrontation, since we already have some removal spells. I think I am going to play 16 lands with the Bushwhack. It's kind of like 17. Even though we have some higher cost creatures here, I think we're still playing 17 lands. We also have 2 Opportunists that we're going to play. Okay, so does that mean we cut just the 2 Gaia's Gifts? I know it protects our creatures, but like, maybe 1? And then something like the Confrontation's not as good. We currently have 20 creatures, which is good. Hoarding Recluse looks like one of the worst ones. Goring Warplow potentially. Maybe one of these things. Steel Seeker doesn't look to be great in this deck, actually. Well, we have double Opportunist, double Assembler, double Golem, Warplow, Emergency Weld. That's all okay. Is this thing good enough with this? Because if we draw this, or mill this, and then draw that, then this is just a 5-mana 4/4 that doesn't do anything else. But this is a 5-mana 4/5 Vigilance that can also put counters on itself. Maybe just an Honor Guard, but then we're at 18 creatures, which is still a good amount. We have 5 removal spells and a buyback spell in case we mill something that we really, really need. I wouldn't mind having access to 1 Gaia's Gift in this deck. But then again, like, what do we cut? I'm thinking of that probably more as a 2-drop. There's also a question is like, should we run more than 40 cards in this deck with all of this self-mill? Probably not. Maybe if we mill ourselves at any point, I'll go in and change it, but I think I'm going to keep it as it is for now. So that leaves us with 1 cut here. I'm thinking either Recluse, Honor Guard, or just the Gaia's Gift or the Emergency Weld. If we mill this card, then we have no way to get anything back and we didn't mill a creature. So maybe we just do that. And run it back like that. I think this deck is pretty good. We haven't really had like green-black self-mill as much as this, but I think this is going to be pretty good. So cross your fingers and I'll see you in match 1. Okay, we're on the draw. We need a green, but we have 2 removal spells for early plays to get us to that green. And if we draw the green, the hand just starts to go off. So we'll just hope we find it, I guess. Now they get a Thopter out of that deal, but I want to make sure I kill it before it gets too bad. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, so they probably have a counter spell here. So what would I prefer to get countered? They don't have any priority, which means I think they have Scatter Ray. So would I prefer to have which one of these countered so far? I guess this guarantees we use all of our mana. If we play one of these, it gets countered, and we hold up Disfigure and they don't play an X2, then we don't do anything. But then if we play one of these, it gets countered. We can hold up Disfigure for the option. Next turn, play Opportunist. If we didn't play Disfigure, still hold that up. Let's do Prowler. And yeah, so they do have the counter spell. Let's see if they do that as well. If they counter this, that's fine. Okay, there's the Scatter Ray we thought they had. Scrapwork Mutt. Yeah, it's not really one I like disfiguring. Oof. Could be a problem later. Although we like milling ourselves, but only if we have some of our payoffs down. Alright, do I disfigure the Mutt here? I mean, while our mana is up, I guess. It's not something I like doing, but here we are. Oh, they have another one. Come on. Scatter Ray's not good. Except now. Alright, so this Teresian Mindbreaker is going to kill us, basically, because we like to mill ourselves. That's why you want Disfigure. So we need a land to be able to cast this for 6, or for 7. Oof. Okay, so we're gonna lose the first game, is what I'm finding out here. Need Overwhelming Remorse, basically. Okay. Yep. 23, so we're gonna go down to like 12 or so. Got rid of both remorses, of course they did. And Urza to trigger this every turn. Okay. Yeah, and then we'll draw a land. Alright, I gotta kill the flyer here. Mill ourselves for 4 more. And then cry because we're gonna deck. Well, we got to attack. Yeah, I don't think we can win anymore. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we have 2 lands in our last 4 cards here. So maybe there's something in there that I'm missing that could let us win, but I doubt it. Because we have both butchers in the yard. 1, 2. And those are kind of our win cons. And we cut the emergency weld, so. Yes, 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 I get it. Alright, time to go above 40 cards, I suppose, because... Well, I mean, the Teresian Mindbreaker was the reason we milled here. But that won't save us, really. Because they can jump 3 turns in a row. Got to attack, because the last 2 cards in our deck are lands. So we have to win with this and this. And that's it. And they can chump and chump. We draw, draw, and lose. So that should do it. Alright, here comes a land. And then just got to attack. Can't do anything else. They'll chump with the 1/1. They'll make another one. They'll chump, and then we'll die. So. We have to kill them next turn, and we only have one creature to do it, so it's literally impossible. Alright, is it worth going to more cards in deck? As long as they don't have a Teresian Mindbreaker, I think we're fine. Okay, we go first with a fine enough hand here. I did keep 40 cards in deck, so we'll just hope they don't have ways to mill us while we are also milling us. Okay, so I'm going to do this. If they have Disfigure, they can kill it, because we're not getting a ton of value out of this card anyway. It's not the reason it's in our deck necessarily. Now I'm going to play Razor Maw. It attacks better. It's probably going to trade with their 3-drop. It'll mill us. It'll make Gaia's Courser better. Ooh. Okay. What gas that was. So if we do this, we could still cast Overwhelming Remorse potentially, and I'd like to hit a land drop here. Alright. Filled up the yard successfully. And we're already halfway through our deck. Okay. I don't think I need to remorse that. I'm just going to be mana efficient here and play the guy as Courser. I know I could get the Butcher down. And maybe that's worth it, but like, this can get us all sorts of value. I could still play the Butcher next turn. If they have a removal spell, they're probably using it on this. And then the Butcher can start draining him out next turn. Or beginning the following turn. Nice. That card is good. Well, that's also a nice draw. Okay. I think I'm just going to disfigure this thing now, right? And then just play an Honor Guard and have Remorse for whatever I want it for next turn. Okay. Okay. Well, that was pretty good, the fact that it made a 1/1. They've got a good deck, too. I mean, if they deal with this Butcher, we are in a world of problem. They're certainly messing with our graveyard. They have us on a clock now. So if they attack with both of these carrion locusts, I might have to kill this Hero of the Dunes here to make sure they don't hit us for too much in the air and make this clock pretty bad. Trenchstalker could give them lifelink, which is also bad for us. But they have to start blocking here. Don't want to do that. Made a mistake there. That was probably going to cost them. Or they just really wanted to, yeah, or they just wanted to chump because they knew that they were going to get it back anyway. Alright, now their clock is, or our clock is faster than theirs, which means that these carrion locusts could just kill us. Especially if they have a way to give this lifelink next turn. Power Stone Fracture on the Butcher? No. Okay. Probably going to have to use that on a Locust here. Mm-hmm. At least we drew that. Can't do anything about that. Okay, so that has to die. This will be chumped. And we'll put you to 4. And now we have to draw something. Are we going to lose again? Because now we have to chump the Trenchstalker. And I can't figure out a way to get them down below. Yeah, we needed to draw something there. We have to chump this Trenchstalker now. Mm-hmm. This sucks, man. This deck is good, is it not? Like, what am I doing wrong? What did I do wrong there? I just let some flyers hit me too many times, I guess. Oh, and they drew the extra card, and we drew a land. Okay, well, hopefully the deck can get a win. I think it's better than 0 wins. Okay, we're on the play with a good hand that should win a game of Magic the Gathering. So, we're going to try to do just that here. I think I'm gonna try to get this trigger here. Well, it's not great right now, but I can't bottom that. Okay, they don't know that that card is not one of the best in our deck. And what's their single red? Okay. Just gonna play the Razor Maw and not the Bushwhack here. I mean, we could save the Bushwhack potentially. I know we missed a land drop, but we still have a couple things we can cast in the meantime. Not to mention this trading off will probably make this cost 1. Okay. Play the Recluse. Next turn, Bushwhack on the Strongbow from the Recluse could be good. If they don't play an artifact they can sacrifice in response. I can exile that. Probably will. Sorry. Killzone Acrobat, yep. Ooh, nothing. Alright, I'll play another lethal threat then. Yeah, that's good against our board. Probably want to trade for all 3 here, I would think. Although if they trade with the Recluse, we can put the Scrapwork Mutt on the bottom of their library here, which will be good. We get to mill our deck now. We milled 6 lands in that. Six out of 7 cards in a row were lands there. That's just what happens on this channel. Arena loves me. I mean, it ended up working out alright for us because we milled them instead of drawing them, but imagine if we had drawn 6 out of 7 straight lands. That would have been great. It would have been so much fun. I would have had a blast with you all here today. That's fine. That's just a chump blocker. I'll do this, and I'll decline to put a land in my hand, more than likely. Or just won't hit one anyway. Alright, Autonomous Assembler, let's go. It's you and me. Okay. Yeah. That's another sacrifice outlet. Or not a sacrifice outlet, but another chump blocker. I'll just make it a 2/2 instead. Another chump blocker. Oof, we're flying a little close to the sun here. Probably still going to do it, though. I think I am going to increase the size of my deck. We shouldn't be this close to milling here. And our deck isn't super reliant on a couple of very, very key cards. I mean, we have a couple removal spells, we have a couple of golems, which are win cons, we have a couple of butchers, which are win cons. I mean, I don't think it decreases consistency by going to maybe 46 cards or so. So I'm going to take a look at doing that here. Okay, so I went up to 47. I added about 4 non-lands and 3 lands to make sure the balance stays the same. And now we're stuck with an awkward hand that just needs a green. And I'm going to keep it and cross your fingers here. But Butcher on 3 could still be a thing. Obviously, if this was 3 greens, that'd been great with Bushwhack. We could have gone and found a swamp, but now we're just going to have to hope that a green comes off the top at some point. Maybe it was a suspect keep that I shouldn't have, but again, we're on the draw. We had a 3-drop. They're not doing much here. They're just kind of drawing cards. If they draw one here, then they're going to have to... Oh no, they'll have 7 in hand. They won't have to discard, so... Green. Sweet. Let's do this. Counterspell, counterspell. So what would I like to be countered? Clearly not the Butcher. I don't want the Prowler to be countered either, because I want a mill. So I'd prefer this to be countered. I could Bushwhack finding a green. I already played a land, I think, so let's let them counter this. Oh, they have Stone Cold Nothing. Okay, that's fine too. What do you got now? Again, nothing. Interesting. Okay, now they have Coilless Rock, which I'm fine trading either of these for. Desynchronize. I don't think we want that on the top of our library. Because I think I'm going to Bushwhack searching for a green here and then play probably Blanchwood Prowler. Ooh, double top. You don't like to see that. Because if we hit... We'd have to hit 3 creatures for the Remorses to cost 2 to still hold these up. Or we can just play Hoarding Recluse here. I'm going to play the Recluse, actually. I'm going to be a little bit more mana efficient, because I don't... We can still play this and then get the discount on these in a future turn. But we just have to hope they don't play some huge bomb here. Start with this, see if they have a counter. They don't. Creature, none, and then creature. That's fine. We could exile that so they don't get the Thopter, but I think the Thopter isn't the end of the world here. So I'll just do this. Ah, what do they have now? Something they can use to sacrifice this? Sacrifice a creature you control? Oh, the mechanic made that chi. Holy crap, thank God we have Overwhelming Remorse.
For the sake of the future, I will defend the past. I've got eyes everywhere.
No, don't kill the butcher. I need it. Stop. Okay, so I'm going to trade this for this right now, because they're going to feel very compelled to keep their Teferi alive, and then I'll just kill it anyway. So that's why I did that in the order that I did.
We'll have to try again.
Ooh, they are flooding hard. So are we, potentially. I mean, they have 8 and we have 7, so... That's a good draw. Corlos Rock? Yep. That's what I thought. Overwhelming Remorse or Gaia's Gift? So, Overwhelming Remorse lets us get in for 4 and have another lethal threat this turn, and we know they have 2 lands in hand. So I'm actually going to do this, so that if they draw a land, we win the game. Now, okay, awesome, it worked out. I would regret myself if they drew like a 6/6 of sorts, then I couldn't attack at all. But I think that line was probably fine to take. Alright, we go first with, yet again, a pretty bad hand. And this one I don't think is keepable. I mean, that hand was quite bad. So we'll keep this one. And now the argument is either a land or like a War Plow. I guess a land, because the Prowler can hopefully help us find another one, along with the Steel Seeker into War Plow finding us another one. So I'll put back a land. But boy do I hate mulliganing, but we didn't have a choice there, so... And try to find a land here. Awesome. 2 creatures in a land is basically perfect. That makes these cheaper now. That's fine. We'll go here. And then hold the Prowler back to trade with Rock Hunter. Are they mono red or are they color screwed here? Yeah, that's what I thought might happen there. Is there a need to play this on 2? Not right now, but we could just trade with whatever aggressive start they have. I'll just play this on 2. I still have removal up now. Alright, looking like mono red. That is a perfect Remorse target. Kind of over the whole land situation, though. I don't think we need to remorse that as long as we have a Death Toucher here. So I'll just keep this back. Alright, got the clean 2 for 1 there. Still have our Death Toucher back. But we're out of gas here, so... Well, now we don't. What else you got here? Probably don't have removal for the Butcher, otherwise they would have already used it. Or they were just debating on how they wanted to use it. Yeah, and then we get smacked for 8. Instant punished for attacking there. Don't have anything else to use it on. And then this is where we poop out. Oh, what fun. It's a blast, man. So much fun. Ah, jeez. Don't need another land, I can tell you that. Not too many decisions in this game. Holy crap, man. Can you just, like, let me have anything? Alright, we die to removal here. Also die to another explosion off the top. And die to that too. Well, it's a chump blocker. We had like 5 turns to draw out of this here, man. Doesn't have trample, does it? No. Yet. I mean, they might have Whirling Strike here, and if they do, then we definitely lose. Looks like they do. Close enough. Okay. Yeah, that was an incredibly frustrating draft. just incredibly frustrating. That deck is so much better than 2-3. I mean, what could I have done there in the last game? Did I misplay somewhere? I think every single play I made was pretty straightforward. The deck is very nice. It's very sweet. It's very tight. I added a couple lands, but the ratio is the same. It's very consistent. We drew 6 out of 7 lands in the middle of there somewhere. I mean, I don't know what you want from me. It's a sweet deck. So, wish I could have had a little bit more fun with it, but thanks so much for tuning in, and I will see you next year for your daily draft.